Hello! Hi, everybody. I'm still tying my shoes. Hi, everyone. Welcome on in. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day today. I had a super duper long day at work. I'm a little exhausted just from work, but I'm ready to dance. That's for sure. I was trying to rush to get home. It was just like one thing after another today. Today the day started with I walked into the building and the power was out. Thankfully it turned on like pretty shortly after. But like the internet was having issues all day at the beginning of the day, and it was just a lot of patience today, of me seeing a lot of patients today, and just being like, I don't know how many times I can tell the staff members about certain patients, about things that they need, that patients need, and so forth. Oh my god, look at my tiny little ponytail. Do you see that? Because my hair is so short right now that this is what my ponytail looks like. So look better as like a little bun? Or are we just gonna rock the tiny little ponytail today? Yeah, we're gonna rock the tiny little ponytail today because I don't think I can even get it into a bun. But uh yeah, I don't know how many times I could tell like nursing staff members like about certain patients, like this patient needs help. This like we need to be making sure that this person is getting the correct diet. Today I had a full-on conversation on Monday with our assistant director of nursing and the nursing manager, saying like, hey, they recommended this diet in the hospital for this patient, but actually I saw him today and he's really not doing that well. So like I don't want to put him on that diet anymore. Like I would prefer to keep him like us to keep working in speech therapy on his swallowing and on his eating before we progress him to eating like every single day, because they like pretty much had to rush to see him in the hospital very quickly, and so they don't know him very well. And so I came in today. I saw him for treatment. I talked to the nurse that was on the unit, and I was like, yeah, like I just saw him, great. Lunch rolls around. I'm in the therapy gym. I'm typing up my notes and everything else. And the nurse comes by again. The unit nurse comes by again and was like, "Did you put him on a diet?" And I said, "No, I did not put him on a diet. Like I didn't. I had a full-on conversation with all, the upper management nursing staff on Monday that I didn't want to put him on a diet." Then looked in the computer system today to see that the nursing director of nursing literally put in a diet for him today after I had the conversation with them on Monday. Why did we put it in today? For him to have a meal ticket when I said no. I was so mad. So that was my day today. I hope everyone else had a wonderful day. I'm really tired and really frustrated, and then got another text message today saying, hey, can you come over and help tomorrow at this other building? And I said, no, I had 5 evaluations today, and that is an hour apiece of typing. And that doesn't include my normal therapy time. So I had over a 9-hour schedule today. So no, I'm not going over to this other building to help, because I know that it may be pretty close to a full day's hours already tomorrow. So there we are. Do you work as a PT? I do not work as a PT. Welcome on in. Hi, I'm Lee. I am a speech therapist. So I'm a speech therapist in a skilled nursing facility, or adult rehab is what I refer to it as. Subacute rehab. But there you go. That's what I do. I'm a speech. I'm a speech therapist. Alrighty, y'all. I realized that I also did not turn my air on. Hang on, I gotta do that. Pause. 2 seconds. Otherwise, I'm gonna be dripping sweat even more than usual if I don't turn the air on. I got my we got the Celsius. I got a water jug. That's it. Heck yeah, we love our SLPs. I'm a nurse in Alabama. Oh heck yeah, very nice. Sorry for me complaining about the nurses at my facility. They are just not listening. And I don't know how many times I put in like orders and tell them about orders and give them written hard copies of orders that it's that people aren't listening. So it's just how it is right now at my facility. Her acronym looks like a keyboard smash and we love it. What? Me? ATSL? What do you mean? Oh, or SLP. SLP or ATSL? Because both of those do look like keyboard smashes, and I get it. I understand. So it is what it is. Alrighty, I got my shoes on. I wore these shoes to work today too, so I just had to put like warm shoes back on, and it's a weird texture. Yesterday I got home like somewhat early, and I could take a nap from like 3 to 4 p.m. Today we're an hour late because I was working so long. So you never know what's gonna happen. Also, these are different shorts. I've never worn these shorts before. They have shorts underneath the shorts, so just in case anyone, for clarification purposes. There we go. Fun stuff. Obviously, because I was late, I forgot to take a picture, so we're gonna do that now. Ba-bum-bum. Wait, this is weird. I gotta like turn to the side here. Okay. ATSL SLP. I don't know what those last ones are. And just overall okay. So I was wondering. I was like, what is AJOCC? I mean, if you want all my letters, right? You could do ATSL. All my letters are MSCCCSLP. See what I mean? You got some C's in there, I won't lie. Better late than never. Starting. Just Dance 2024. All songs. Percentage. Now! Exclamation point. Twitch.tv. / a 20 something. I forgot that the music was still on. I can't lie. I thought we were just listening to the Just Dance music. Alrighty, I'm gonna actually, let's put one on Twitter today. Ba 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 ba. Better late than never. Starting Just Dance. Sorry, everybody. 2024. All songs. Percentage. Now. For St. Jude. Alrighty, y'alls. Twitch.tv/ See, these are all the things that I'm like supposed to do before stream. But I ran out of time today. I got home 15 minutes before I hit the go live button. I will not lie. So, all right. Party. We ready to dance, everybody? The more letters, the more impressive it is. Oh, well, it's the letters at the end of my name, it's MS, which is Masters of Science. And then I do greatly show off because I spent 5 years to get it of my undergrad and my master's instead of the 6 years. So I am proud to have that. And then CCC is my clinical competencies. So as a speech therapist, the way that you show off is when you go from being a CF, which is a clinical fellow, after a year to get your C's, which is you are now competent to be a speech therapist. And then SLP is just speech therapist. So SLP, speech language pathologist. So, alrighty. We ready to dance? Because I'm ready to dance. Actually, no, I'm not. I did not stretch. While I'm stretching at the same time here, everybody, I would like to remind you all that this entire week we are speedrunning the Just Dance games. We started on Sunday with a Just Dance bingo. We did Monday's stream was 2022. Yesterday we did 2023. Yesterday was 2023. We broke our own world record. And now today we are doing Just Dance 2024. Tomorrow we do Just Dance 2025. Friday we do Just Dance 2026. And as you all know, on Saturday is our super long string where we run the category non-stop pop, which means you go for as long as physically possible. So the longer that you go and you're able to dance, the better. So, your job this week is professional upstairs neighbor. Yeah, honestly, yes. Absolutely, yes. I forgot to stretch earlier. See, this is things that I would be doing before stream that I forgot. I will not lie. My legs today, they do feel a lot more toned than usual, and that probably has to do with doing 3 hours of dance every night for the past 2 days. No, for the last 3 days, huh? Oh, my knees popped. Alrighty. I think we're ready. But yeah. But again, we are raising money this entire week for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. If you are unfamiliar, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital is a leading force in cancer treatment and care in the U.S. for children with childhood cancer. One of my favorite things about St. Jude is that the families that go there are never met with a bill, meaning that they have their the medical stuff covered for, as well as travel and as well as stay, because they care about caring for the whole person and the whole family. And I've mentioned it many times this week, and I will continue to mention it, but I did lose one of my really close friends growing up from childhood cancer. She had a cancer called DIPG, and she actually received treatment from St. Jude. So yes, I'm fundraising this week, and we did this last year, and I will continue to do this in most years that I'm able to, in honor of both her and for my aunt, who is currently fighting stage 4 glioblastoma. So there we are. So if you would like to check out any of our incentives, we've met a lot of them so far. They are there. And also, if you would like to read more information about St. Jude, it is there in the chat. Fun stuff. There we go. Alrighty. Too many sounds at once. Hang on. Alrighty. We got Just Dance 2024 edition today, everybody. Which, Just Dance 2024 has some banger songs, if I do say so myself. So, that's where we're at. Alrighty. And then one last thing before we get started. Thank you to anybody that has donated already this week. I truly appreciate it. We are at $815 already raised this week, and I truly appreciate it. This is only day 4. This is day 4 out of 7. And we're already at $815. So thank you so much. But we are still going. So if you would like to donate, the link is pinned at the top of chat there, or you can do ! Donate in chat. Because as a reminder, every $200 raised adds an extra hour onto my time on Saturday. And we are starting early on Saturday. I'm starting at like 10 a.m. So it'll be early. I never put I've just been pulling my hair back into like either 2 pigtails here or 2 or like half up, half down. Just like in the middle in the back. So I'm not used to like not having my hair move in the back. But it's fine today. It's fine today. I have a couple of little like clips in my hair as well too, but that's just to hold my bangs back. Because it was a little gross. Not gross, but it didn't, they were too small of pieces to reach back. Alrighty, y'all. Here we go. Again, if you are unfamiliar with any of these speedruns here, slash the speedruns that we are doing, it is essentially we are playing every single song per the Just Dance game. So this is every single song that came out with the Just Dance 2024. A little loud there in my own ears. This is every single dance that came out with that year. We're doing it all in a row. It's going to take us like 2.5 hours. Our goal is to be... It says our time is 2.5 hours and 36... 2 hours and 36 minutes. I'm going to double check on the world record time. And we're going to hope that we don't end up with any... what's it called? Oh, guess what? We're going to submit today because whatever we get is world record, as long as we don't crash. So, there we go. Alrighty. Here we go, everybody. Oh, by the way, everyone make sure you have your water as well, too. I have my water. I also have my Celsius. Here we go. And world record, by the way. Yeah. As stated, we're going to be freaking ripped by the end of the week. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. We start off like this. It's fine. Boop boo ba da da boop boo do 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 boom 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 boom. Boom 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 ba-dum ba-dum. I usually play as the woman. Ba-dum 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 do do. Boom boom boom. Boom ba-do do 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 do. Boom boom boom. Do 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 do. Do 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 boom boom. Boom 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 ba-do 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 ba-do. Do 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 do. 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 Oh, 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 do 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 do. Bow bow. Bow bow. Do 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 do. Screw the light bulb. do. Ba, ba, ba. We gonna look like The Rock after this week. You got it. Woo! Alrighty.
Respeitável público, show tão maluco. Essa noite vai acontecer aqui. A gente vai armar circo, drama com perigo. E nessa corda bamba quem vai caminhar sou eu. E venha ver os deslizes que eu vou cometer. E venha ver os amigos que eu vou perder. Não tô cobrando entrada, vem ver o show na faixa. Hoje tem open bar pra ver minha desgraça. Extra, não fique de fora dessa. Garanta seu ingresso pra me ver fazendo. Extra, logo o show começa. Melhor do que a subida, só mesmo assistir a queda.
Na 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 na.
Podem tentar, mas não vão me pegar. Terror nenhum, du. Com meu poder derrubei por um. Vivem fazendo de tudo pra te atingir. Eles agem como animais. Curiosidade matou o gatinho, mas essa gatona tá viva demais. Daqui do alto não tô te escutando. Cê vai falando, eu vou faturando. Sei que cê gosta de ouvir os aplausos, mas gosta muito mais de mim, vai sangrando. A carapuça cê viu? Cadê você? Ninguém viu? Tô dominando o Brasil. E venha ver os deslizes que eu vou cometer. E venha ver os amigos que eu vou perder. Não tô cobrando entrada, vem ver o show na faixa. Hoje tem open bar pra ver minha desgraça. Extra, não fique de fora dessa. Garanta seu ingresso pra me ver fazendo. Extra, logo o show começa. Melhor do que a subida, só mesmo assistir a queda.
Na 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 na. Extra.
Não fico de fora dessa. Já tenho meu ingresso pra te ver fazendo. Extra, logo o show começa. Melhor do que a subida, só mesmo assistir a queda.
Na 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 na. Ooh, we didn't do too well on that one comparatively to usual. That's alright. It is what it is. Bum bum. Alrighty, after party. The party. Oh, we already sweating. I don't know if that's a good sign or not.
Yeah, bunks and rock. Save me from myself, baby. Take me on, drive me crazy. Baby, teach me some dancing what you feel sick. I'ma follow your 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. True fact, I'm way less confident than a little. You may be insecure, no lie. Too bad, I'm shooting my shot, I'm hoping I'm dead on. Who that knocking at my door? Who that? I do an after party. Baby, it's easy to tell you to pass by shorty. Come on over, cause I do an after party. location. Right and left, mirror your waist. Yeah, two-tone lips, got me loving the shit. Think I like you, you don't say. Let me follow that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Too fast, way less confident than I little. You made me insecure, no lie. Too bad, you done
And I shout and I'm dead on. At my door, who's there? After a party. After a party, you can tell your friends and your friends' location. Just dance, just dance. Just dance, just dance. Just dance, just dance. Friends and your friends, your location. Friends and your friends, your location. Friends and your friends and location. Friends and their friends and location. You can send your friends and your friends their location. Alrighty. Here we go, everybody. Smooth like butter, terminal undercover, fly like summer. You're hot like that. Summer. My mother. Oh, and I'm in the mirror. You're hot into two. Ooh, I'm breaking it. Right left to my beat. Up for me, baby. Short cause don't kiss you. Sasha right left to my beat. Oh. Oh, and the look in the mirror, like your heart into two. Ooh, look at that. Into my beat. Fuck with me, baby. Look at that. Short cause talk is cheap. Oh. Did it. Right body, right mind. Ooh. Alright, left to my feet. Back with me, baby. Look at baby. Drunk and dark and cheap. Get it, oh. That better be a new high score. That feels like a new high score. I'm just saying. I I feel like that was the best I've ever done on that one. It was not a new high score, but we tried. It felt like a new high score. Again, every time I do this, apologies to my neighbors surrounding me. Oop, my boss is texting me.
Baby, calm down, calm down. Yo, this your body, it puts in my heart for lockdown, oh lockdown. Yo, you sweet life, phantom, phantom. If I tell you say I love you, you know they for me, young girl, oh young girl. No, tell me no, 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 oh, 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 oh. Baby, come give me your lo, 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 oh, 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 oh. You got me like whoa, 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 whoa. Shawty, come give me your lo, 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 oh, 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 oh. I see this fine girl from my party, she wear yellow. Every other girl they do too much, but this girl mellow. Now in my fine situation, I go use they tell I'm mellow. Finally, I find way to talk to the girl, but she ain't no one follow. When you gonna phone for one? When you know I come for one? Then I start to feel a bum bum one. But she dey give me small small one. I know, say she's a bit pass it down one one. But she feeling insecure, cause her friends could they come my light ring go on. Could they come my light ring go on. Baby, calm down, calm down. Yo, this your body, it puts in my heart for lockdown, oh lockdown. Yo, you sweet life, phantom, phantom. If I tell you say I love you, you know they for me, young girl, oh young girl. No, tell me no, no,
No, no, no, no, no.
baby, come give me your lo, 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 oh, 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 oh. You got me like whoa, 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 whoa. Shawty, come give me your lo, 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 oh, 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 oh. As I reach my house, I see me got a small wall. As me, I wake up, now she did my mind don't walk. Day one, day two, one of you folk go was.
Cross, shoulder, up, down. Got it.
As I start to tell her, if you know my heart it is. Baby girl, if you leave me, I don't wanna love again. Because you get many girls, we put my heart for bed. Baby, you feel my pain. Baby, calm down, calm down. Yo, this your body, it puts in my heart for lockdown, oh lockdown. Yo, you sweet life, phantom, phantom. If I tell you say I love you, you know they for me, young girl, oh young girl. No, tell me no, 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 oh, 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 oh. Baby, come give me your lo, 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 oh, 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 oh. You got me like whoa, 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 whoa. Shawty, come give me your lo, 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 oh, 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 oh.
My hips do not move as well. Oh, shoot, we're not done yet. I thought that was the end of the song. I was about to... Oh, I forgot to open up fish. I'm sorry, hang on. Hang on. Hey, girls, just dance. Just trying to text my boss back. Spooky is for real.
I used to put my faith in worship, but then my chance to get to heaven slim. Oh, I used to worry about the future, but then I threw my caution to the wind. I had no reason to be carefree, no, until I took a trip to the other side of town. You know I heard that boogie rhythm. Hey, I had no
down, 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 dance. I'm left to see to do, just dance. Dance, dance, do, just dance. Standing in my feet tonight, baby. Got candy in my heels tonight, baby. This boogie is for real. Ooh, 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 ooh. Dance. 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 Got candy in my feels tonight, baby. Ooh. Candy in my heels. There we go. Got it. Hi Leech, hi Stack Attack, hi DTP, hi Pickled Human. Hello to everybody chilling, lurking, and vibing and hanging out with us here today. Alright. Elite songs. I Just Dance 2024 has all pretty good songs. I will not lie. It's pretty darn good. When you catch it, you wanna party all night. When you catch it, party all night. I get the foot wrong every time. Every single time. Bum, 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 bum. she want.
Because she never needed any reason. Yeah, she a girl and she just wanna have fun. No, you can't take
Oh, you want to party all night? Wrong foot every time. Oh, ooh, you like comes around. Party all night. Oh, can't take her. Pew, pew, pew.
She can dance on her own. Club is closing, but she ain't going home. Night is still young, where the she go? Nobody knows. Ain't the first time, cause I've seen her before. Smell her perfume as she walks through the door. I wanna know where she go. Nobody knows. No, you can't tell her, cause she runs her own world. So if she wanna party all night, no, you can't tell her.
Got it that time. Comes around. You can't take her. Can't take her. That's just a fun one. That's just a fun one. Cat tamer. Did you all know that's actually a Twitch streamer? As the dancer there. That's little Sia.
Mommy, Daddy, look at me. I went to school and I got a degree. All my friends call it the big D. I went to school and I got the big D. 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 I went to school and I got the big D. Is your muffin buttered? Would you like us to assign someone to butter your muffin? Excuse me. What? Excuse me. What? Hey you, over there, on the chaise long in your underwear. What are you doing sitting down? You should be horizontal now.
On the chaise lounge, on the chaise lounge. On the chaise lounge, on the chaise lounge, on the chaise lounge, on the chaise lounge.
Is your mother worried? Would you like us to assign someone to worry your mother? Excuse me. What?
Excuse me.
What? Hey you, in the front row, are you coming backstage after the show? Because I've got a chaise long in my dressing room and a pack of warm that we can consume.
On the chaise lounge, on the chaise lounge, on the chaise lounge, all day long, on the chaise lounge.
On the chaise long, on the chaise long, on the chaise long,
Oh my God.
day long, on the chaise long. On the chaise long, on the chaise long, on the chaise long, all day long, on the chaise long. On the chaise long, on the chaise long, on the chaise long, all day long, on the chaise long.
On the chaise lounge, on the chaise lounge, on the chaise lounge, all day long. On the chaise lounge, on the chaise lounge. I'm not trying to break an ankle by standing on top of my couch. on the Shea Lounge. Alrighty. Next song. I like this next one. This is Cradles. By Suburban. Bum 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 ba doo doo doo. Ba doo doo doo. Ba doo boo doo. Bow 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 bow. It's got a good drop, that's what I mean. Inside my
world of
make-believe.
Kids
Screaming in the cradle. Fantasies.
I see the world through eyes covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep.
I love everything. Fire spinning all around my room. What's so bright? It's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
Take my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee?
Hi Val, welcome on in.
I
I have inside my girl
world of make-believe.
believe.
Kids
Dance
screaming in the cradles, profanities. Some days I
I've been swinging than other days.
Sometimes I can't tell if my body belongs to me.
I love everything. Fire spinning all around my room. What's so bright? It's hard to live, but that's alright. Hush. Wanna teach their content.
Hold your breath and feel the tension. Devils hide behind redemption. Honesty is a one-way gate to hell. I wanna taste consumption. Breathe faster to waste oxygen. Hear the children sing aloud. It's music till the wind burns out. Just wanna be carefree.
Lately, just looking at days in the sky. One too many colors in my pocket. My just plenty colors in my pocket. Faces, yeah, just tripping on daydreams. Got dirty little lullaby. Oh, baby, I'm nursery count sheep. That was a big P, sorry. A big P is in me going. Sorry. I did it again. It was just so fun the first time. Yippee! Also a good song. I'll take it. Do 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 do. Ba 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 da 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 da. Here we go. Run from the lions.
On the fire, I know I created myself. I know I can't fight the sad days and bad nights, but I never asked for your help. You got hurt, but we don't belong together. So you took the love from my arms into the arms
So
of
yours.
yours.
I don't care for me. cure for me. I don't need it. No, I don't need a cure for me.
I don't
Don't like your attention. It's apprehension.
about our nature and love. The glorious teachers are no use for creatures who knows how to play with the gods.
That's love.
But they never show unless
Unless
they
you
hurt.
hurt.
So you blame it all on my love, the movie. Heart I got, but I don't need a cure for me.
I don't need it. No, I don't need a cure for me. I don't need it. No, I don't need a cure for me. I don't need it. Need it.
Please,
Please
no
don't
cure
cure for me.
Please,
Please don't cure for me. For me. Cure for me. Please don't cure for me. Cure for me. Cure for me. Please. Cure for me. Cure for me. No, I don't need a cure for me. Beautiful. Alrighty. Party, party, party. Alrighty. Ba-ba-do-do-do. I don't know if I can really move my hips that well. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baby, no me llames que yo estoy ocupada, olvidando tus males. Yo decidí que esta noche se sale con toda mi moto, mami, con todas mis yales. Yo ando despechada, a loca, bajé con un flow nuevo a caja, baby, hackeado. Lo muevo de lado a lado y otro lado. Hoy salgo con mi baby de la disco Corona. Yo ando despechada, la loca, que Dios me libre de volver a tu lado. Lo muevo de lado a lado y otro lado. Hoy salgo con mi baby de la disco Corona. Corona, yeah. Voy con la falda, aro y cadena. No tengo pena, estoy con la fefa. Ella es la jefa, ella lo baila, ella me enseña. Hoy no trabaja, está morena. La fama, la faena. La noche es larga, la noche está buena. Mambo violento, el fin del problema. Mira que fácil te lo voy a decir. ABC, 1, 2, 3. Mira que fácil te lo voy a decir. Que estamos tu mami, ya no está para ti. Mira que fácil te lo voy a decir. ABC, 1, 2, 3. Mira que fácil te lo voy a decir. Que estamos tu mami, yo ando despechada, a loca. Bajé con un flow nuevo a caja, baby, hackeado. Lo muevo de lado a lado y otro lado. Hoy salgo con mi baby de la disco Corona. Yo ando despechada, la loca, Barcelona pa' Santo Domingo. La Rosalía. Ey. Omega. Ey, ey, ey.
Nice. That one felt good to do. I won't lie. Hips were moving. Hips were flexible today. High score, huge. Alrighty, this one is hard. I don't know how else to explain it other than just this one is hard.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Great song though.
We about to get it just a little hot and sweaty in this. Ladies, let's go. Soldiers, let's go. Let me talk to y'all and just, give you a little situation. Listen. You see the get hot every time I come through when I step up in the spot. Make the place sizzle like a summertime cookout. Proud for the best chick, yes, I'm on a lookout. So banging, shorty like a belly dancer with it. Smell good, pretty skin, so gangster with it. No tricks, only diamonds under my sleeve. Give me the number, but make sure you holler before you leave.
My elbow definitely just popped. I know you do. Whenever I come around, she's all over you. I know you want it. It's easy to see. In the back of your mind, I know to be wrong. Don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me? Don't you wish your girlfriend was a freak like me? Don't ya? Don't ya? Don't you wish your girlfriend was wrong like me? Don't you wish your girlfriend was fun like me? Don't ya? Oh, the feeling, like the feeling, I ain't alone, ain't alone. Love is just ain't enough to leave her happy home. Be friendly. I have to play fair, to play fair. On her hair, I know she ain't gonna wanna share. Don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me? Don't you wish your girlfriend was a freak like me? Don't you? Don't you, baby? Don't you? Don't you wish your girlfriend was wrong like me? Don't you wish your girlfriend was fun like me? Don't you?
Okay, I see how it's going down.
Don't you?
Seem like shorty want to pop off or something. Well, let me get straight to it. A broad won't watch it. When I come through, it's the God Almighty looking all brand new. A shorty wanna jump in my Aston Van Jewish. Looking at me all like you really wanna do it. Try to put it on me till I'm black and bluish. You wanna play with a player girl and play on the Chanel and lead up. Watch me and I'ma watch you at the same time. Looking like you won't break my back. And with the rag, hit you in the. Don't think it was something you did. Shorty all on me 'cause it's hard to resist the kid. Yeah, that's dope for y'all if y'all can get cool. So I can hit the phone for
She
y'all.
loves you. No, she loves you. Understand. I like just so crazy about you if you were my own man. Lifetime. You're not so pretty. Old friend, just see this life with me. Don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me? Don't you wish your girlfriend was a freak like me? Don't you? Don't you, baby? Don't you? Don't you wish your girlfriend was all like me? Don't you wish your girlfriend was fun like me? Don't you? Yeah, that one is just hard. Just straight hard. A great song, not a fun dance. Alrighty. We got Flowers by Miley Cyrus up next, which is a fun dance. Don't understand. I could take myself dancing, yeah.
We were
Good. We were grown,
kind of dream that
can't be told.
We were right till we
We weren't.
built a home
And watched it burn. I don't wanna write it. I didn't wanna write. Started to cry, but then remembered I can find myself flowers. Even the sand. Give myself for hours. I don't understand. I can take myself dancing. I can hold my own hand. Then cherry red. You left. No remorse. No regret. I forgive every word you said. I didn't wanna leave you. I didn't wanna fight. Started to cry, but then remembered I can buy myself flowers. I can aim in the sand. Talk to myself for hours. Things you don't understand. I can take myself dancing. I can hold my own hand. Can love me better than you can. I can love me better, baby. Love me better. I can wanna leave you. I didn't wanna fight. Started to cry, but then remembered I can find myself flowers. I can aim in the sand. To myself for hours. Things you don't understand. I can take myself dancing. I can hold my own hand. Love me better than. You love me better than you can. I can love me better, baby. Love me better. I can love me better, baby. Heck yeah. Let's do it. How to say, gimme more. Okay, we're in the stretch of songs that are just so great. Y'all know my favorites are all the Britney songs. And this is no excuse. No different. Turn your lights down. Just wanna give an extra mile for you.
Public display of affection. Feels like no one else in the room. Breaking it down like there's no one around. We keep on rocking. We keep on rocking. Cameras are flashing while we're dirty dancing. We keep watching. Keep watching. Feels
It's like I'm gonna sing. Gimme more. Gimme gimme, gimme, gimme more, gimme, 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 gimme more, gimme, 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 gimme more. Have attention, and when the house against the wall, trace of recession, you got my permission. Gimme, 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 gimme more, gimme, 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 gimme more, gimme, 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 gimme more, gimme, 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 gimme more. Gimme more, gimme, 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 gimme more, gimme, 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 gimme more, gimme, 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 gimme more. Ooh ah, ooh ah, ooh ah.
Bet you didn't see this one coming. The incredible Lago. The legendary Miss Britney Spears. And the unstoppable Danger. You're gonna have to remove me. Cause I ain't going nowhere.
Such a good dance. Oh, chef's kiss. I love it. I love it. Chef's kiss. So good. One of my favorites in Just Dance. Alrighty. We're in the middle of the H's. We're almost an hour in. As a reminder, y'all, we're raising money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital this entire week. As stated, we've already raised $815 over the past 3 days. And we're still going. If you would like to donate, the link is there in chat. How you like that, da, da, da. I just elbowed myself in the hand. Bada bing, bada boom, boom, boom. Like that, da, da, da. Look at you now, look at me. Look at you now, look at me. You now, look at me. Look at you now, look at me. Look at you now, look at me.
더 캄캄한 이곳에 shine like the stars 그 미소를 띠며 I kiss you goodbye 시간이 웃어라 걸 좋으니까 이제 너희 하나 둘셋
How you like that? How you like that? Da 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 da. Bada bing, bada boom, boom, boom. Look at me now, look at me. Look at you now, look at me. Look at you now, look at me. Look at you now, look at me. Heck yeah! Hi, Bruce. Hit 1K tonight. We could do it. We are only approximately $185 away from doing that. So, again, if you would like to donate to St. Jude, the link is in the chat. There are some pretty cool incentives. You could enter the Wax Head game giveaway. You can make me draw a Pokemon. You could even get a postcard. Super cool. As well. I'm doing quite well, other than I had like a really long day at work today. So other than that, I did. It was great. I'm sure you should take me chance. Out. I was faded and on defense. Of the bomb and all the things we dreamed about. Smash on the guitar till we see the stars. Oh, got to go this year away. We got to throw this year away. Bad luck strong. Oh, smash on the guitar till we see the stars. Oh, got to throw this year away. We got to throw this year away. Bad luck strong. They never do. Didn't know her name. Feeling so tucked away. Send those and we don't fall apart. Fall apart. The things they dreamed about. Smash on the guitars till we see all the stars. Oh, got to throw this year away. We got to throw this year away. Bad like a straw. Let's twist the night, so that twist the night, like the last summer. Trying to do together, how to it's better. I'm trying. Together. Now back down on the ground. Oh my god. Got to throw this year away. We got to throw this year away. Like, let's try. We'll get on the ground for Fall Out Boy. And Fall Out Boy only. Long day at work and still crushing on the speedrun charity? That's true. I was an hour late today. Because I was still at work. Until about 15 minutes before I went live. So, fun stuff. We're about an hour in, everybody. We have about an hour and 15 minutes left. So again, get those donations in. I truly appreciate it. Again, we're raising money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Trying to talk and also dance at the same time is a tough time. I do think that I did just bruise my knees from the last one. Or I just touched the bruise that was already there. And it just irritated it. Sailor time to figure out how to waste my blues away. When the night falls, my loneliness calls. I want to dance with somebody. I want to feel the heat with somebody. Yeah, I want to dance with somebody. With somebody who loves me. I want to feel the heat with somebody. Yeah, I want to dance with somebody. With somebody who loves me. Do 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 do. Wow. I like to be fever ends, and I wind up feeling down. Hi, Raiders! Welcome on in! My name is Lee. When the night falls, my pronouns are she, her. I am a, I guess, in general, indie game speedrunner. Particularly Stardew Valley. But I also speedrun a variety of other indie games as well, too. But my fun little thing is that I also speedrun Just Dance. And this entire this week, we are speedrunning all of the Just Dances every day for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Think about try enough to laugh when the night. We started on Sunday with some Just Dance bingo. With somebody. Yeah. And then Monday, we did Just Dance 2022, all songs. Yesterday was 2023, all songs, where I beat my own world record. And today is Just Dance 2024, all songs. We are going every single day this week. Meaning tomorrow is 2025, Friday is 2026, and Saturday is a category called Nonstop Pop. Meaning you go for as long as possible. But welcome on in, Raiders. Thank you all so much for the raid. I truly appreciate it. I can't really read too much of chat at the same time. Wanna dance? Don't you wanna dance? But thank you so much for bringing your community over to hang out with me. I truly appreciate it. Oh no. With somebody who loves me. But I hope you had a wonderful stream. With somebody who loves me. I can actually see dance. Is it Shaya or Shia? Please let me know. Thank you so much for the raid. I truly appreciate it. Hello, Raiders. Now I can actually say hello as well. But welcome on in, y'all. Coming for the more donut with hype. Absolutely. Thank you so much. But welcome on in, everybody. Shia, perfect. Both are fine. Okay. Welcome on in. It's great to have y'all's here. We also do have a thing around here. It's called Have People Raid and Run. So if you gotta leave and take care of yourself, please make sure to go and do so, because self-care is important. And if you're new here, and you're thinking, Lee, that's a lot of dancing. Every single day, speedrunning every song with no breaks in between? The answer is yes. And I recommend don't do this at home. I promise I'm okay. I do this kind of professionally. Not here, like friends. I love her.
I'm just being honest, baby. I just need a partner when the lights come on. Yeah. 30 almost got me, and I'm so over love song. Yeah. So if you want it bad tonight, come by me and drop a line. No, you've never been this high. Don't be scared if you like it, 'cause I'm
Not here to make friends. I'm not here to make friends. Cause I'm not here to make friends. I need a lover. I need a lover. I need a la 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 la. I need a la 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 la. I need a lover. I love her. I should also mention that every $200 raised adds an extra hour of dancing on Saturday. So as you can see, we are currently sitting at $800, $815. That is an extra 4 hours of dancing straight on Saturday. La la la. I mean la 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 la. I mean la 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 la. La 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 la. I need la 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 la. La la la. Oh, wrong way. I need lava. I need lava. I was gonna say, if it didn't give me the 5 stars on that one, I would have been really mad. Alrighty. Here we are. And reminders as always to stay hydrated.
I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright. Baby, I'ma have the best freaking night of my life. And wherever it takes me, I'm down for the ride. Baby, don't you know I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright. 'Cause I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright. Baby, I'ma have the best freaking night of my life. And wherever it takes me, I'm down for the ride. Baby, don't you know I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright. Don't you know I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling
Alright.
You know I'm down for whatever tonight. I don't need the finer things in life.
Survive.
No matter where I go, it's a good time. Yeah. And I don't
Always listed in VIP. Middle of the floor, that's where I'll be.
got a lot, but that's enough for me.
Yeah.
'Cause
I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright.
baby, I'ma have the best freaking night of my life. And wherever it takes me, I'm down for the ride. Baby, don't you know I'm good?
Good, yeah, I'm feeling alright.
Don't you know I'm good? Yeah, I'm feeling alright. So I just let it go, let it go. Oh na 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 na, no I don't care no more, care no more. Oh na 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 na, so come on, let me know, let me know. Put your hands up, na na na, no baby, nothing's gonna stop us tonight. 'Cause I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright, baby. I'ma have the best freaking night of my life. And wherever it takes me, I'm down for the ride, baby. Don't you
You know I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright. Yeah, we're in the stretch of songs where, like, they're all bops right now. Oh. Kind of ends here because this is Christmas. But it's fine. The most wonderful time.
With the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be of good cheer. It's the
Most
wonderful
wonderful time.
time of the year.
EG, what did you do? Hang on. I'm in the middle of dancing to a holiday song right now.
With those holiday greetings and gay happy meetings when friends come to call.
Yos,
It's the
EG just has a donation match in progress right now. Meaning,
there'll be parties for hosting, marshmallows for toasting, and caroling
donations.
in the snow.
If you donate,
Scary
that also makes
stories and tales
EG donate, but only for a short period of time.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. There'll be
Chainsaw towing and knots. So if you would like to see that number go up,
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
donate literally right now. The link is pinned at the top of chat.
There'll be scary ghost stories and tales of the glories of Christmases long, long ago. It's the
The most wonderful time of the year.
There'll be much
Matches.
mistletoeing and hearts will be glowing when loved ones
Once are near.
It's
The most wonderful time. It's the most wonderful time. Most wonderful time of the year. So, literally, for the next 1 hour, if we can raise $300, that also means that donations are being matched by EG. So, as a reminder, the link to donate is right there. So if we would like to be able to double our donations, as stated, for the next hour, we have 1 hour exactly, pretty much to finish the speed run. So do it in the time that we're here. I don't know how else to express this, but there's an urgency. We got 1 hour. 1 hour goes by pretty fast. So, if we would like to double our donations for charity here, as stated,
Still a fan even though it's salty. Hate to see you with some other broad, know you happy. Hate to see you happy if I'm not the one driving. I'm so mature, I'm so mature, I'm so mature. It got me a therapist to tell me there's other men I ain't doing one night, I just want you. If I can't have you, no one should have mine.
I might.
My ex, not the best idea. His new girlfriend's next, how I get here.
Which,
I might, my ex.
with those donations, it would literally put us like $100 away from meeting our goal completely.
I get the sense that it's a lost cause. I get the sense that you might really love her. The text gonna be evidence. This text is evidence. I try to ration with you. No murder's a crime of passion. You was out of reach. You was at the farmer's market with your perfect peach. Now I'm in the basement, planning on my patient. Now you laying face down, got me singing over a beat. I'm so mature. I'm so mature. I'm so mature. I got me a therapist to tell me there's other men I do one night, I just want you. If I can't have you, no one will.
I might kill my ex. Best idea.
His new girlfriend's next. How'd I get here? I might, my ex. I still love him though. Rather be in jail than alone. I did it all for love. I did it all on no. I did all of this sober. I did it all for us. I did it all for love. I did all of this on no. I did it all of this sober. I just my ex, not the best idea. This girlfriend next, how'd I get here? I just my ex, I still love him though. Rather be in hell than
Alone. So, alrighty. There's Kill Bill. We are as stated. Time is ticking here, y'all. I'm just saying, if you would like to donate, donations are being matched by EG for literally the next hour, up to $300. So literally, if you would like to double our money for charity, Imagine you giving $5, and then look at that. EJ's gonna make EG is gonna make it $10. Even more money for charity. Hi, Hollow Force. Bella.
I wanna hear your breath just next to my soul. I wanna feel oppressed without any rest. I wanna see you sing, I wanna see you fight. 'Cause you are the real beauty of human rights.
Ooh, Makaba, makes my body dance for ya. Ooh, Makaba, Makaba. Ooh, Makaba, makes my body dance for ya.
Nobody can beat the Mama Africa. You follow the beat that she's gonna give ya. Only a smile can all make it go. The separation of 1,000 more.
Ooh, Makaba, Makaba, Makaba. There we are. Alrighty. We're in a little like weird transition period with the songs, I won't lie. Because this next one is My Name Is. Can't say it's one of my favorite songs to dance to, but it is certainly a song, that's for sure. Name is Chicky Chicky. Chicky Chicky Chicky.
My name is Boom Boom.
Boom boom boom.
My name is Chicky. My name is Cha Cha. Chicky Cha Cha.
Boom Boom.
Cheeky.
Boom Boom.
Cheeky.
Boom Boom.
Block.
Cha Cha Cha.
My name is Lala. La 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 la.
My name is
Chicky Chicky Chicky.
My name is Clop Clop Cha Cha Cha.
My name is Boom
Boom boom boom. Cheeky.
Boom Boom.
Cheek. Oh, too early. Cheeky. Cheeky. Chicky. Chicky cha cha boom boom. Another incredible song. A beautiful song. I really like this one.
What I
Would do, think, pray. I say you're making love. I love you to the pain. Now I stop, and I'm missing you. Make me like you. I was living, things change. Say you can find it hard. Love to shiny things. And I'm to stop, and I'm missing you. I'm only gonna catch a thing. I made a mistake. Let's just look me in my face. Tell me everything's okay. I got it. I'll never be like you. You could catch a thing. I made a mistake. Please just look me in my face. Tell me everything's okay. Got it. Never be like you. I make
you wanna
say
sleeping on my
on
missing the
face to face. I'm messed up and I'm missing you. Looking at me, those eyes. Be any good day right. I'm messed up and I'm missing you. Just say I made a mistake. Jesus, look me in my face. Tell me everything's okay. Got it. Never be like you. Money, you can't you see? I made a mistake. Please just look me in my face. Tell me everything's okay. Got it. Never be like you.
I'm falling on
My knees, forgive me, I'm not yours true. Fucking on the face, I'm sorry, I'm not such you. Falling on my knees, forgive me, I'm not yours through.
I'm begging that please absolve me of my sins for you.
I'm on you, can't you see? I made a mistake. Please just look me in my face. Tell me everything's okay. So I got it. Never be like you. Say I made a mistake. Please just look me in my face. Tell me everything's okay. Got it. The TikTok dance version is is better because it's much shorter. That's fair. That is completely fair. It is a little bit shorter in comparison. Alrighty, y'all. We got Rapper's Delight, a great song here. Don't forget to click that link in chat to donate to St. Jude. We did this last year. We're doing it again this year. An entire week of Just Dance speedruns. As a reminder, I'm going to keep doing this every year that I physically can. We started last year. We're doing it again this year. For St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Now what you hear is not a test. I'm rapping to the beat. And me, the groove, and my friends are gonna try to move your feet. See, I am Wonder Mike, and I'd like to say hello to the black, to the white, the red, and the brown, the purple, and yellow. But first, I gotta bang, bang, the boogie to the boogie. Say up, jump, the boogie to the bang, bang, boogie. Let's rock. You don't stop, rock the riddle that'll make your body rock. Well, so far you've heard my voice, but I brought two friends along. And next on the mic is my man Hank. Come on, Hank, sing that song.
Check it out, I'm the CASN, the OBAN, the rest is FLY. You see, I go by the code of the doctor of the mix, and these reasons I tell you why. You see, I'm 6'1" and I'm tons of fun, and I dress to a T. You see, I got more clothes than Muhammad Ali, and I dress so viciously. I got bodyguards, I got two big cars, it definitely ain't no whack. I got a Lincoln Continental and a sunroof Cadillac. So after school, I take a dip in the pool, which is really on the wall. I got a color TV, so I can see the Knicks play
basketball.
When we talk about checkbook, credit cards, more money than a sucker could ever spend. But I wouldn't give a sucker or a bum from a rockin' out of town till I made it again. Everybody go hotel, motel, what you gonna do today? Cause I'm gonna get a fly girl, gonna get some and drive off into that OJ. Everybody go
Hotel, motel, Holiday Inn.
You see, if your girl starts acting up, then you take a friend, a message, and my mellow, it's on you. So what you gonna do?
Well,
It's on and on and on and on and on.
The beat don't stop until the break of dawn. I see a M-A-S, a T-E-R, a G to the double E. I say I go by the unforgettable name of the man they call the Master G. Well, my name is known all over the world by the foxy ladies and pretty girls. I'm going down in history as the baddest rapper that ever could be. And now you feel the highs, you're feeling the lows. The beat starts getting too told. You start pumping your fingers and stomping your feet. You're moving your bodies and you're moving your seat. I say, you start doing the freak. I say, right out of your seat. Then you throw your hands high in the air. You rock it to the rhythm, shake your derriere. You rock it to the beat without a care. With the sure shot MC's for the affair. Now,
A 70-something loser doing a Just Dance marathon with her walker. Yeah, we're gonna do it sitting down. Next time. When I'm 70, we're gonna do it sitting down. Oh, it didn't click. My bad. Alrighty. Do 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 do. Ba 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 ba. Do 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 do. Ba da 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 ba da da da. This is how much of my love. Right now, darkness. Baby, I'm a lady, baby. This is how I shake dice. I'm a ADD, baby. Pew, pew. Pew, pew. Bum, bum, bum. ADD, baby. Maybe I resist friend breed. Maybe I resist. Maybe I'm the ADD, baby. Na na na, da da na na, da na na, da 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 da. La 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 la. La 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 la. Oh my god, the burn. In my Alrighty, where's our little donation link? Oop. Oop. Alrighty. Bum 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 bum.
Coming to ya, yeah, I won't give up. Everybody say yeah. 조금 더 크게 say my name. 그게 잠든 난 눈뜨게 해워. 한 번 더 크게 say my name. 네가 내 이름을 불러주면 어느새 먼 곳을 향해 더 fly high. 막아서지 마라 give it up. 지난 나는 이제 burning up now. We don't want no trouble, just moving forward. 잠깐만 달려 그 안에 불꽃을 향해서 또다시 달. 모두 여기로 높은 곳으로 함께라면 no down down down. 손을 들어라 소리 질러라 터질 듯한 시작을 위해 저기 저 달빛이 부를 때 세상을 덮친 듯한 군에 우리 손을 잡고 날아가.
Yes, sir. Say my name, say my name, say my name. Say my name, say my name, say my name. Got it.
나를 불러줘 나를 불러줘 내 손을 잡아봐 내 눈을 바라봐 길을 쳐 이 길의 시작은 창대한 법 위상과 비상은 한끗 차로 꿈이 완전 갈리는 것더 이상은 better than better 고개 들어 get it go get it 또한 그 문보한 배를 타 걸어와 내게로 get it 부르고 불러줘 날 내 이름은 검색이 나와 그렇게 바라던 내 인택 따라고 곁에 가득 친구들도 모아 야 배웠어 누르고 지켜봐요 이름 딱 내 글자 여기다 요 진하게 남겨놔 스미네 cause I'm the captain 모두 여기로 높은 곳으로 함께라면 no down 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 손을 들어라 소리 질러라 터질 듯한
Hi, Mikey. Welcome on in. Ba, 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 ba. Yes, sir. Say my name, say my name, say my name. Say my name, say my name, say my name.
아마 동명일 거야. Please don't let me go. 비로소 정해진 하나의 my way. Couldn't nobody else. Couldn't nobody else. I believe in me. 나를 불러주는 순간. 나를 불러줘 함께 갈 수 있도록 내 손을 잡아봐 내 눈을 바라봐 너에게만 I can give you everything 이제 새로 태어난 my mind.
Oh, so close. So close to 5 stars with that one. Goodness gracious. So close. Alrighty. We've got this song, then one more, and then we have to change playlist. Alrighty. There we go. Again, would love to see some more donations for St. Jude. As a reminder, we do have a donation match going on right now, meaning that your donation of $5 is literally going to be doubled. And who doesn't love more money for charity? It is on for 1 hour at the beginning of it. Pretty much until the end of my speed run. After night, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 7 days a week, every hour, every minute, every second, night after night, I'll be loving you right, days a week.
You love when I jump right in. All of me, I'm a foreign. Show you what devotion is. Deeper than the ocean is. Wind it back, I'll take it slow. Leave you with that afterglow. Show you what devotion is. Deeper than the ocean is. It's the way that we can ride. It's the way that we can ride. Think I'm meant to win another life. So break me up another time. You're up around me and you give me. And that's why
Night after night, I'll be loving you right. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 7 days a week. The hour, every minute, every second, night after night, loving you. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 7 days a week. Thank you for the donation. I see it. Loving you 7 days a week.
Take your phone and put it in the camera roll. Leave them clothes at the door. What you ain't for? Better come and hit your goal. He jumping in both feet. Going to the sun up, we ain't getting no sleep. 7 days a week, 7 different sheets, 7 different angles. I could be your fantasy. Open up, say, come here, baby, let me swallow your pride. What you want, I can match your vibe. Hit me up and I'ma cha-cha slide. You make Mondays feel like weekends. I make him never think about cheating. Got you skipping work and meetings. Let's sleep in, yeah.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 7 days a week. Every hour, every minute, every second, night after night, I'll be loving you right. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7 days a week. Every hour, every minute, night after night, I'll be loving you right. Oh, we were like half a second away. J-Bug! Thank you for the $75. Are you kidding me? Thank you so much, friend. I truly appreciate it. My goodness. But go get him. Thank you. I appreciate it, J-Bug. My goodness. That's a $75 donation, which means that it's doubled. So what is that? $125. Huge. That puts us at $900. and $65.
I guess you had your way. You see, I've gotta make you understand. I know it sounds a foolish thing to say.
I just realized you guys can hear it now.
Today's another day.
I forgot to mute it.
Love of my life. You shall love of my life. You shall love of my life. And let me see. Tonight we're gonna run to dawn.
Could you hear it today?
Tonight we're gonna say it.
Needs to work on our math skills? I can't.
We got a good thing going on. I know
You're right. I'm not good at math. You're so right. I'll be so honest. I was just going off of what it said, and I can't read. It's not necessarily my math skills. It's just called I'm in the middle of dancing and can't do math at the same time. Is that not right? What is that? What's double 75? Oh, it's 150, isn't it? Oh shit, sorry, my bad. I can do math. Even more money for charity. My math was just wrong. Look at that! Even more hype. So much so that I'm doing the dance wrong. Boo, 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 boo. I shine a little love in my life. You shine a little love on my life. That's the truth. You shine a little love on my life and make me feel. Shine a little light, shine a little light. Shine. Little love. I can do math. That would make it make sense. So now it's at we're still at $965 raised for charity, which means that we are also someone else do the math for me. $35 away. From that's right? $35 away from 1,000. My goodness, y'all! Thank you so much. I was lost with half a chat there. It was being blocked by me clicking on something. I'm not required in Just Dance, just reading pictures. You got it, pretty much. E.T., thank you for the 100 bits. I truly appreciate it. Thank you also so much for starting a hype train somehow as well. Don't know how that happened. Got the best of me. Got the last laugh. Everything good is gone. Broken down. Running back. See, that's why for my examples, we were just doing. Doesn't mean I'm lonely, and I'm alone. Doesn't kill you, makes you lighter. Doesn't mean I'm 'cause I'm wrong. Doesn't kill you, makes you stronger, stronger. Just me, myself, and I can't even finish a full thought. I just got distracted by the song. I was starting over with someone new. moving on.
Didn't think that I'd come back swinging. Tried to break me, but you see, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
64 plus 2 zeros. I got that one. I can't read though either. Still you makes you stronger, stronger. Just me, myself, and I. It makes you higher, just a little taller. Doesn't mean I'm lonely when I'm alone. Thanks to you, I've got a thing started. Thanks to you, I got the broken hearted. Thanks to you, I'm gonna think about me. About the beginning. Oh my god, my arms are killing me from this one. Oh, kill you makes stand a little taller. Doesn't mean I'm lonely when I'm alone. It doesn't kill you makes me stronger. Wait, I thought it was a multiplication. I'm sorry. Stronger, stronger. I can't read. I told you that. I thought it said multiplication. Stronger, stronger. Just me, myself, and I. Stand a little taller. Lonely when I'm alone. I'm alone. Can we just put Just Dance Lee in charge of figuring out my salary each month? Yeah, me too. I didn't see that it was 80 plus 80. I thought that was a multiplication. Sorry, that's 160. Oh, save. My bad. Alrighty. Next playlist. Here we go. I'm not gonna give up. Wait, what's 80 times 80? 6,400. That's what I wish my salary was a month. Holy cow.
Now that you're out of my life, I'm so much better. You thought that I'd be weak without you, but I'm stronger. You thought that I'd be broke without you, but I'm richer. You thought that
I'd be sad without you, but I like her.
thought I wouldn't grow
Without you,
now
but I like her.
you thought that I'd be helpless without you, but I'm smarter. You thought that I'd be stressed without you, but I'm chilling. You thought I wouldn't sell without you, sold my millions.
Father, I'm not gonna give up. Don't stop. Don't try my harder. Survivor. You can survive. You won't survive. Survivor. Give up. Don't stop. Harder. Survivor. Get it. Survive. You don't survive.
Breathe without you, I'm in hell. You thought I couldn't see without your perfect vision. You thought I couldn't last without you, but I'm lasting. You thought that I would die without you, but I'm living. Thought that I would fail without you, but I'm on top. Thought it would be over by now, but it won't stop. Thought that I would self-destruct, but I'm still here. Even in my years to come, I'm still gonna be here. I will survive. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna work harder. I'm gonna make it.
Survive. You are surviving. Survivor. Never. Stop. Harder. Harder. Get. Survive. I'm surviving.
Wishing you the best. Pray that you are blessed. No success, no stress.
Just say to your happiness. Not
I'm not gonna blast you.
Mario.
I'm not gonna lie.
Mario.
I'm not gonna hate you in the magazine. I'm not gonna compromise my Christianity. You know I'm not gonna
I'm gonna stop me better than that. I'm not gonna give up. Gonna stop. I'm gonna record it. Survivor. Make it. I will survive. Keep on surviving. Oh. 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 All the darkness and sadness. All the surviving things. Survivor. I'm not gonna live up. Stop. Survivor. Make it. I will survive. Keep on surviving. Survivor. Give up. Stop. I'm gonna work harder. Survivor. Give up. Carter. Surviving. Does not hinder speedruns in most games. That's true. That's true. That's just the gosh darn truth. Alrighty, y'all. So we got like 30 minutes left in the speedrun. AKA meaning we also have 30 minutes left on that donation match here. So, again, get your donations in right now. If you would like your donation to be doubled, again, if you donate $1, it's now $2. If you donate $5, it's now $10. If you donate $20, it's now $40. Look at that math right there, everybody. Thank you so much. Subscribe and donate for more math facts. Actually, I'm not Jess. I can't give you math facts. Bum 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 bow 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 bum bum bow 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 boo boo bow bow. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, 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 bow. Hang on, I will read that message in a second. Send the bear signal. Say we need help. Bow, 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 Ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. Ba, ba, ba. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Ba-dum, ba, bum. Nice. We get to 2K total donations. Lee will attempt to teach Chet advanced calculus one day. Bessie, I barely even did advanced calculus. I did Calc AB in high school. The last math class I took was statistics in college, and I barely got a B. And I have never had to take a single math class after that, obviously. And that was freshman year of college. And I don't want to count how many years that was before ago. Go away, I got no life. Say you better know. I'm sorry to you. Run to you. I've got to run away. I've got to let away. I've got to you're tight. Love is to pray. I did just hit myself in the ear. Remember college statistics? I pulled the rainbow on our test grades. 5 tests, I got 1 of each letter grade on them. Yes. Checks out. Checks out. Alrighty, y'all. This one slows down quite a bit, so I can actually kind of chill out and talk a little bit. As a reminder, we are $35 away from hitting $1,000 raised for St. Jude so far.
Isn't truth supposed to set you free? Or why
I would really, truly love to hit it tonight.
if I could show them everything I've seen, open their eyes to all the lies, then would they change their minds like I did? But when I speak, they tell me sit down.
It would truly mean the world to me.
Can I when I've already started running?
Especially because it's only Wednesday.
But it's
And we have Thursday night, we have Friday night, and we have Saturday still to go.
I know.
So I would love to be able to hit 1,000 in the middle of the week here.
So I look up at the stars to
Guide me,
and throw
ocean to be the warning sign. Oh my God, could be a sun drives me. Let me be the first to stand in line. So I make this wish
to have something more for us
than this. So I make this wish to hit 1,000 tonight.
to have something
more to else than this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Than this. Never knew I needed but
Yeah, I did what I was told when someone told me no.
Again, as a reminder, even donations of $1
So it doesn't
add up.
Cause I've got reservations and hesitations on where I should even begin. I'm past dipping my toes in, but I'm not past diving in. If I could just be pointed in any given direction on where to go and what to do. My legs are shaking, but my head's held high. Well, you always taught me.
Me too.
So
I look up at the stars to guide me
and
through caution every winning sign.
I'm sure there will be challenges that
Find me, I can take them on a time. So I make this wish,
to have something more for
less than this. So I make this wish,
to have something more for
less than this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Than this. So I make this wish to have something more, less than this. Yippee! So I make this wish. Alrighty. We're in the middle of the tease. So, we don't have too many songs left. And what's we gotta do for them? Oh, it's on the incentive page. Hang on. This one.
Ey, Titi me preguntó
Duh.
si tengo muchas
The link
novias.
there.
Muchas novias, hoy tengo a una, mañana a otra, ey. Pero no hay boda. Titi me preguntó si tengo muchas novias.
We've hit a lot of them already.
Muchas novias, hoy tengo a una, mañana a otra.
And if anyone has any ideas for other ones, hey,
Saluden a Titi, vamos a tirarnos un selfie. Say cheese, ey, que sonrían las que ya les metí en un VIP.
I will happily take them.
Ey, saluden a Titi, vamos a tirarnos
Or selfie. Say cheese.
que sonrían las que ya se olvidaron de mí. Me gustan mucho las Gabriela.
Yeah, la Sofía. La Sofía. La Sofía.
Primera novia en kinder,
Emilia.
primer amor, se llamaba Talía. Tengo una colombiana que me escribe todos los días. Y una mexicana que ni yo sabía. Otra en San Antonio que me quiere todavía. Y las de PR que toditas son mías. Una dominicana que juega bombón. Uva bombón. La de Barcelona que vino en avión. Y dice que yo dejo que jueguen con mi corazón. Quisiera mudarme con todas por una mansión. El día que me case te envío la invitación, muchacho, deja eso. Ey, Titi me preguntó si tengo muchas novias. Muchas novias, hoy tengo una, mañana otra. Ey, pero no hay boda. Titi me preguntó si tengo muchas novias. Ey, muchas novias, hoy tengo
Oh, no, 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 otra. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do.
Pero ven acá, muchacho, ¿y para qué tú quieres tanta novia?
me la voy a llevar la
I go VIP, un VIP. Hey,
saluden a Titi, vamos a tirar.
do a selfie. Say cheese.
Ey, que sonrían las que ya les metí en un VIP, un VIP. Ey, saluden a Titi, vamos a tirarnos un selfie. Say cheese, que sonrían las que ya se olvidaron de mí.
Oye, muchacho, el diablo azaroso. Suéltese más vivir que tú tienes en la calle. Búscate una mujer seria para ti. Muchacho, el diablo.
Yo quisiera enamorar.
Thank you for the donation. Hang on. No, pero no puedo. Pero no puedo. Demasiado tío, confío.
Nah, ni en mí mismo confío. Si quieres quedarte hoy que hace frío y mañana te vas. Nah, muchas quieren mi quieren tener mi primogénito, ey, y llevarse el crédito. Ya me aburrí y quiero un tinedito. Uno nuevo.
I got so ya estoy son de corazón. Corazón. No menos a mí.
Te enamoras de mí. Sorry, yo soy así. No sé por qué soy así. Hazle caso a tu amiga, ella tiene razón. Yo voy a
Ay, corazón. Hasta el corazón. No me pregunta a mí.
No te enamores de mí. No, sorry, yo soy así. Ya, no quiero ser así.
Oh, she breathing heavy? A little bit. Can you hear me real bad today? Thank you for the donation. Claire, thank you for the donation, for the $50 donation. My goodness. Yippee. That puts us at 1,065. That puts us at 1,065 in the middle of the week. Thank you so much. Again, that donation matching from EG is still going on. So, nah, I barely can hear it. Okay, I'm just gonna eat the mic then.
Give me your attention, baby. I gotta tell you a little something about
Yourself.
You're wonderful, flawless, ooh, you a sexy lady.
I forgot what this dance was.
But you walk around here like you wanna be someone
Else. Y'all, that means we're dancing for 5 hours on Saturday.
that you don't
No, me, but you're fine, so fine. Ah, I'm gonna show you my. You're my golden star. Make my wish come true. Let me treasure you. Let me treasure. Ooh, ooh. Give it up, pretty girl. I got it like so too. How about I just stop breathing? I'll just nose breathe. Fun, so fun. Fun, so fun. I'm kidding. You know that. Mine, oh my treasure. That is what you are. You're my golden star. Make my wish come true. Let me treasure you. I'm my treasure. You are my treasure. You are my treasure. Yeah, you are my treasure. You are my treasure. You are my treasure. Now you are. You are my treasure. You are my treasure. Let me treasure you. Hello, Force. Thank you for the sub as well. Thank you so much. Y'all, donation match ended. Drew, thank you for the $11. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. We did it! Woohoo! The donation match was officially completed. We're at $1,076. Thank you. Yes, there is one. I do have a time limit. Slightly before I die.
Hate to give the satisfaction asking how you're doing now. How's the castle built?
I think if we made it to 1600, that would be my limit, because that would be 8 hours of dancing straight.
I see the parties and diamonds. Sometimes when I close my eyes, 6 months of torture you sold to some forbidden paradise. I loved you truly. You gotta laugh at the stupidity, 'cause I've made some real
Big mistakes.
You make the worst one look fine. I should
Just so that I wouldn't die,
you only come out at night. I used to think I was smart, but you made me look so naive. The way you sold me for parts, you sunk your teeth into me. Bloodsucker, dream crusher, bleed
Made
me
me
dry.
try like a vampire.
Every girl I ever talked to told me you were bad news. You called them crazy. God, I hate the way I called them crazy too. You're so convincing. How do you lie without flinching? Ooh, but I'm
It would also depend on how I'm feeling physically at that point in time.
how you do it, and God knows I never will. And for me and not her, 'cause girls your age know better. I've made some real big mistakes.
I also have to see what the rules are in terms of breaks. Think I was your favorite. Because you do get breaks in that one. Wave. Made me try like a vampire.
You said it was true love, but wouldn't that be hard? You can't love anyone, 'cause that would mean you had a heart. I tried to help you out, now I know that I can't, 'cause how you think's the kind of thing I'll never
Understand.
And I've made some real big mistakes, but you make the worst one look fine. I should have known it was strange. You only come out at night. I used to think I was smart, but you made me look so naive. The way you sold me for parts as you sunk your teeth into me. Bloodsucker, dream crusher, bleed
Made me try like a vampire. Hug. These all Sunday down on the couch, whether it's worth it or not to give to refill her water or not. So, pretty much every single day this week, it's been like 2.5 hours of dancing, except for Sunday. Sunday was like 4 hours of dancing. And I felt fine with that.
Crazy shady, spit me out like hot wasabi. Lick me up, I'm sweet and salty. Mix it up and down my body. Love to hate me, praise me, shame me. Either way you talk about me.
Uh-oh. 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 I think last year we did 6. But that's because it was on a Friday night. And then I think I went out the next Saturday.
All the ugly things you say, come and say 'em to my face. Stick like toffee, sip like coffee, wake up, change your mind and drop me love to hate me crazy, shady, spit me all like
I got some sabi.
me up, I'm sweet and salty, mix it up and down my body, love to hate me, praise me, shame me, either way you talk about me.
Oh.
Watching me,
Uh-oh.
I ain't watching you,
Uh-oh.
what you see. Hope you like the feeling,
Oh.
best believe.
Oh.
Never get into
Uh-oh.
all these words run through me.
Baby, ooh. I can finally, I can, ooh, baby, ooh.
This will be your inspiration.
Ooh, baby, ooh.
The topic of your conversation.
Ah.
All the ugly things you say, come and say 'em to my face. Stick like toffee, sip like coffee, wake up, change your mind and got me love to hate me crazy, shady, spit me out like hot wasabi, lift me up, I'm sweet and salty, mix it up and down my body, love to hate me, praise me, shame me, either way you talk about me. You know I love the way you talk about me. Look at how far it got me. You make it right about me. I put it up like origami. Like she ain't wearing no clothes. When she going so low, I bet they gonna break up. But you know.
Oh, Don't go being you visit a past game you've done speedruns in and spend time relearning it to speedrun it again. See, I don't even know what game that would be. Outside of maybe Call to the Lamb. We haven't played Call to the Lamb in a really long time. I used to speedrun that. I still speedrun Stardew, so that's not changing. I still speedrun Just Dance. I could give you guys a list.
I don't want to grow, baby. I don't want to grow too old before
And let Discord pick? Okay.
the night is young, the moonlight
Discord's gonna have a lot of stuff to pick, so if you're not already in the Discord,
for our city and it's Friday night. So
dance like Michael and sing like Whitney, like Marilyn Monroe.
like Molly, but love like Lucy and dress like Jackie Hill. 'Cause
I'm every woman.
it's
So with me, baby, baby, baby. So I'm every woman. It's only me. It's only me, baby, baby. Dance like Michael and sing like Whitney, like Marilyn Monroe.
wait a minute, hold up, baby. Freedom fighters,
Also, apologies if my face ever like looks so aggressive while I'm dancing. I realize that I am usually like super focused. I promise I'm having fun. I just realized that maybe my face doesn't show that. Ah, it's only me, baby, baby, baby. Oh my, it's only me. It's only me, baby. Me, baby, baby. And then she walks off screen. Speaking of starter, I still think Mine's One should be a joke category. I will not lie. Mine's One is kind of funny. Alrighty. We got 2 songs left. Here we go. We got Woof, and then You Should See Me in a Crown by Billie Eilish. 2 songs left. 2 songs left. Let's get it, everybody. Ooh.
You don't know what you've got yourself into.
Drew.
I've got things with nothing left to chew. I'm gonna make you, I'll make you, I'll make you. Língua de linguiça e que preguiça, boca precisa justiça. Meus pais na Suíça, de novo a nova linguagem me seca. Ah, je suis Sophie, un, deux, trois. Nein, danke, ja, bitte, aber kannst du kommen?
I see you trying to climb in my sunroof. I guess it's a good thing I'm waterproof. I'm gonna make you, I'll make you roof. I'll make you roof. You, I see you trying to climb in my sunroof. I guess it's a good thing I'm waterproof. I'm gonna make you, I'll make you roof. I'll make you roof.
Sorry, I keep hitting my mic. I'm sorry.
All aboard, time for the back. Checking on the clock, God, that's how many y'all let in. So take the aux while tuck through the drive, and I'll be in the back while I do the riding. Especially come see it. I spent the summer locked down, so I'm juicy, yeah. Now I glow head to toe, and I know you know that I like to be on top and in control. In control, in control, in control. I'll make you, make you. All aboard.
Sunroof. Hey. Woof. Alrighty, last song, everybody. Here we go. Bum, 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 bum. Let's get into it. This is a good one. I like this dance a lot. Oh my god, you can see just a big floof in the back of my headphones from my hair.
Cold in my kingdom size, fell for ocean eyes. You should see me in a crowd. I'm gonna run, there's nothing to out. Watch me make 'em bow one by one by one, one by one by. You should see me in a crowd. Your silence is my favorite sound. Watch me make 'em bow one by one by one, one by one by one. Count my cards, watch them fall. Blood on a marble wall. I like the way they all scream. Tell me which one is worse, living or dying first. Sleeping inside a hearse. You say, come over, baby. I think you're pretty.
Almost lost my balance.
Okay, I'm not your baby. If you think I'm pretty,
Ooh.
you should see me in the crowd. I'm gonna run, there's nothing to out. Watch me make 'em bow one by one by one, one by one by. You should see me in the crowd. Your silence is my favorite sound. Watch me make 'em bow one by one by one.
I can't do the feet with my sneakers on.
I'm gonna run, there's nothing to out. Watch me make 'em bow one by one by one, one by one by. You should see me in a crowd. Your silence is my favorite sound. Watch me make 'em bow one by one by one, one by one by.
I was gonna say, if it didn't give me 5 stars in the last one, I would be throwing hands. Shut the front door. Hollow Force? Shut up. Shut up. Hang on, I gotta sit down. Hang on. Hey, that's a lot of money. Hey, y'all.
So I look up at the stars to guide me and throw caution to every warning sign.
Y'all. Hang on. Shut up, Just Dance. I have no words. Hollow Force, thank you so much. That is such an incredibly kind donation. Legitimately. That is so incredibly kind. $425. My goodness, close your wallet now. Thank you so much. I have no words other than from the bottom of my heart. Thank you all so much for donating. So far this week, we've already hit our goal of $1,500. And I don't know, I have no words. Thank you all so much. I don't know whether to cry, whether to laugh, whether to be so excited it's not funny. I'm all over the place right now. I'm a huge bag of emotions right now. But thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now I can actually look into the camera here. Thank you so much, y'all. By the way, that's a world record. Oh my god, look at my jank. Look at my messed up my little tiny ponytail in the back. I will make fun of myself for that. My goodness. Thank you so much. My god. I have no words. Absolutely no words. Y'all, last year, when we did this, we raised $1,300. Okay? I set the goal this year for $1,500, thinking, we'd get there by Saturday. But clearly, I underestimated everybody this year. So thank you all so much for your very, 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 very incredibly kind donations out here. Let's I'm gonna turn on some tunes. And let me catch up on some incentives here as I kind of cool down here. Let me save my splits so we know that I am a freaking pro. And thank y'all so much. Because I do know that there's quite a bit of donations that I need to catch up on. Dark Souls playthrough? I don't know about that. Again, you already saw the what's it called? You already saw the $300 donation. The goal for $300 was chat chooses a game, specifically not a Souls or Souls-like game. So, alrighty, let's see what y'all chose today. Where'd we start? Where did I leave off? Alrighty, first one today for Pokemon drawings here, and I have to remind me to post them all in the Discord. I'm gonna do it today. I gotta open up Paint. We'll start there. J-Bach asked for a Flygon. So here we go. She made it 10 minutes on Elden Rings. It wasn't 10 minutes. I was live for like 3 or 4 hours that day. Now, granted, did I only beat two ones? Yeah. And then I got my ass handed to me, okay? I'm not really good at dodging and rolling. That's not something in my vocabulary. What do you think is going on when I've been playing Dead as Disco offline? I'm getting my ass handed to me each time. There, now you can actually see me slightly, so I'm not like completely gone. Alrighty, so first one here is Flygon. And I have a general idea of what actually I think I was about to draw Vibrava. I won't lie. Is this the right green? I don't think so. It's like this color green too. EG, thank you for another $10 donation. My God. $1,511. Thank y'all so much. Alrighty. I know it looks like a little dragon. Okay, that's the head. There's the body. Okay. It needs... And it's got a tail too. I do know that, right? Okay, now here's the problem. I just wanted to get redeems. Here's the problem. Now, what color are the wings type thing? Okay. I also don't know what shape they are either, so that's another problem. This feels right. And I feel like there's like a little like diamond on the tail too, right? I realized I didn't fill it in before. Oh shit. There we go. Okay, here we go. Now, here's the question. What's the pattern on the there's a pattern on here, right? I know this one is really bad. What color are the eyes? Uh-oh. Oh shit. Hang on, let me take the I think I'm being hindered by the Just Dance controller. Hang on. Hold up. Okay, here we go. Feel like he's got a nose, right? Alrighty. This is what I'm locking in, because I don't think I could do any better. I'm gonna be so for real. Hold up, quickly types how to draw Flygon. No. Alrighty, here's Flygon. Alrighty, let's check and see. How bad did I do? Because I know it's not good. Apparently I'm typing in all caps. Really bad. Hey, I did remember the little diamond thing on the tail. That's not bad. Okay, here's Flygon. I got the right colors at least. There's my Flygon. It needs... Here, I'll show you. That's what it needs. And the eyes are also not the right color. Hang on. There we go. It's very much missing. All of the stripes. It's got a couple of thigh spots too. Okay. I did get its little tiny fingers. We'll call it there though. Alrighty. Oh, hang on. Save as image. Flygon. Menu. New one. Save. Flygon. Okay. Alrighty, what's our next one? Okay, so that was J-Box. Oh, alrighty. So, Clur asked for Mr. Mime. And, coming in 2027, get Lee's Pokemon drawings as a calendar. That would kind of be sick. Imagine. Okay. So, Mr. Mime, we're gonna start here. He's got like an oblong head. Thankfully, I'm pretty sure I do know how to draw Mr. Mime. It's whether or not I get the colors right. Okay, that was a little long. Hang on. No, that's not the right color. I'm going to use gray. He's going to look a little bit like a spider for a moment. Okay. I still have not unlocked Mr. Mime in Pokopia because he still freaks me out. He's got some bendy joints, okay? What color are his shoes? Are they the blue color too? Same with his hands. Frick. Okay, I gotta zoom in to do the hands. How many fingers does he have? Well, he's gonna have 3 in this universe, okay? Now if I remember correctly, he's got like weird spots on his fingers. Is it blue or is it pink? I don't know. Okay, now what color is his feet? That's a bigger problem. Do you got blue shoes? That's the paint bucket. I think he's got blue shoes, right? Okay. I was gonna add stripes to his stomach, but then I think he might look a little bit like Piglet. So I don't think that's correct. Yeah, up for artistic interpretation. He's gonna look a little bit like an axolotl as well. Am I wrong about that? Why do I feel like he's also got like... Feel free to let me know if I'm crushing it. Because I feel like this feels really accurate to me. Oh, what's his mouth look like? I'm just gonna make it really wide. Reminds me more of Dr. Robotnik rather than Piglet. Well, here's the thing. It's supposed to be Mr. Mime. So, I think I'm both off. I mean, it's recognizable. Because every artist obviously signs their drawings here. Now let's see how far off I was. Mr. Mime. Oh, okay. I was right with the blue. And his little weird ass hand with the pink things. Okay, here we go. Compare and contrast, everybody. I got the colors a little bit backwards. That's okay. I got his blue shoes. I didn't realize that they stuck out of his head a little bit more rather than like axolotl ears. But they like stick out more, like antlers. I feel like the eyes are accurate. Hang on, give me the pink real fast. Make it a little bit darker. Okay. This is all I'm adding. How could I forget the blush? So, there we go. Alrighty, let me save it. And I'll do the next one. Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime. We run together. Okay, I'm high-key about to take my shoes off. I feel like my feet are a little swollen right now. Well, we're just chilling. Yeah. Sorry. Alrighty. What's our next one? So that was Claire's. What did Drew want? Brout? Uh-oh. So Brout's the new one. Brout's the little bird. Okay. I do kind of know this one. Now, whether or not I can actually draw it is a question. Okay. That was a large head. Hold up. Hang on. I don't think I realized how big I made his head. He's a little chunkier than that. Hang on. I think that's the best bird feet I've ever drawn. That may just be the best kind of bird feet I've ever drawn. Wow. Okay, that did not help our case. Okay, and then obviously we need the signature feature. Okay? His brows, duh. He's called Brout for a reason. They're thick brows. Okay? And then his eyes, we're going to make like this. Coming off the eyebrows. Oh, shit. Not what I wanted. Don't know how that ends up like that. That's okay. We'll just color it in ourselves. I gotta fix the brows again. At least on this side. Okay, now what does his beak look like? That's another question. That's his beak. Oh, nope, 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 nope. He's got a little smirk to him. I kind of like that he's got a little smirk to him like that. Like, he's kind of mischievous. From a distance? Hey. From a distance? That kind of looks like Brout. Now, up close? I don't think I got the colors fully right. What the hey? It's closed off. Does this help our situation? I think it kind of does. I think it kind of helps. Okay. Alrighty. This is what I'm going with. How bad are we doing? Alrighty. How bad did I do? Pretty bad. His eyebrows are leaves. Oh no. I think I just made an Angry Bird instead. Instead of brown, I legitimately just made a green Angry Bird. Alrighty, I think Drew would like this one. This was Drew, so I didn't think he would enjoy this one. How bad I messed it up, so I'm not even gonna try and fix it. Route. Alrighty, I think we have some more, right? Let me double check. So that was Drew's. Hollow Force with like Vulpix. I got you. Here we go. Now it's more of almost like a reddish color, so we might. Okay, we'll start with this color and then we'll go from there. We're gonna start with the front legs. Now, do I know how to draw the back legs? I don't think so. That's the problem. The back legs don't exist to me. We're gonna draw it sitting like a dog, like that. Okay? Then its head is really cute. It's almost got kind of like that shape. Okay. Now here's the hard part. I gotta make the tail. So I'm gonna go slightly darker and deeper of a color. Because they got the little, like, tuft of hair. And then I gotta do, oh shit, how do I do the tail like this? We're just gonna have it curl, like, behind the ear here. It's gonna look weird for a second. Hold up. I think I kind of cooked. Except you can't tell now. Actually, go back. Let me do that, and then let me just outline it in black. Actually, or we just outline it in a darker. Okay. Nobody freak out. Okay. Now I gotta remember what the eyes look like. That's the problem. And the mouth. I don't know what the mouth looks like. They're not round. I feel like it's like they're like angled, aren't they? But like happy angled. Adding the pupil always messes me up. Okay. Give me the dark color now. That messes with it. I tried to make the mouth. I don't know how to make the mouth. Fuck. Now he looks really angry still. I gave it such human eyes and a human nose that it looks so messed up right now. I know this is not right, but it's killing me. Someone help me with the nose. How bad off am I with the nose? It's so cursed. That's the problem. I'm gonna give it like a dog nose. Is that Devin's nose? Now it looks like a dog. That's at least a little bit closer. I do feel like I kind of did nail it with the tail, though. Imagine. Listen, I wasn't going to be able to draw it from the side. I'll be so honest. So, that's where we're at. Alrighty. Oh, wait. Hang on. Let me show you how bad I did. Let me pull up the... Tell me right now. Tell me right now. Ooh! I nailed those colors. The eyes are still messed up. The eyes are still messed up. But I did nail those colors. I'm going to leave it at this as well, too. It is very cursed, but I don't know how else I would change it without destroying the whole thing. Alrighty. Vulpix. New. I believe we have one more for today. It looks like Mimikyu pretending to be Vulpix. Solid, solid. Alrighty, so that was Vulpix, and then we have one more. We have Wheezing. Now, here's the question. I don't know if I know the difference between wheezing and coughing. Okay, I'm thinking that wheezing is the 1, right? And coughing is the 2, right? Can someone confirm or deny that? Okay, cool. Now, opposite? So coughing is the 1 and wheezing is the 2? Oh, man. Okay. Alrighty, so it's the 2. Got it. Do you want the purple version? Or do you want the gray version with the top hat? Let me know which one you want, EG. Do you want the purple one? Or do you want the one with the top hat? The OG version. Okay, so the purple one. Heard. Got it. I hate purple. It's like that purple, though. Okay. So it's the double. Fuck. Let's start. Okay. Just 2 balls. Okay. And then they're like connected somehow. Okay. Now, I could have asked for Ditto mid-transformation. I mean, you could have asked for Ditto, too. Okay. I'm going to use the gray. We're going to make some craters. Because that's what they have on them, in my mind. Is they have craters. And then, but they have like this like weird aura around them. Where's the spray paint? Out of context, that looks sus. Hey, watch it. This is wheezing, okay? Now their eyeballs are like green, aren't they? This is not Drifloon. And then they're obviously hacking up a lung. They need more craters. I don't know how else to. Electric type wheezing? No. They have that like weird. Those craters make it look worse. What do they have on them? What am I forgetting? That's the problem. I don't know. No, you know what? I'm locking it in. I'm locking it in. Made it 10 times worse. I was gonna do a Weezer background, but no, don't want to do that. Okay, how about I do? What is it? The mysterious aura about it? I was right about the craters. It's got lots of craters. Oh, so here's what it has. Here's what I missed, okay? It's got a third ball over here. Okay? And then I forgot the... Hold up. I will give it to this one. Oh, so I was missing the like the smoke clouds around it. I just gave it a mysterious aura around it. Here, I'll show y'all. But hang on, I gotta do the... There you go. Okay, here's wheezing. Okay, there you go. Hey. It's a little too it is a little bit too ditto purple, I will say that. Sorry, I did mess up on the colors. And I did forget the coughing clouds. Hold up. I will add that. Ditto mid transformation. It does. Again, it does kind of look like that. Oh, and the teeth, the teeth, the teeth, the teeth, the teeth, the teeth, the teeth here. Let me fix the mouth. I'm keeping the eyes. They're gonna look like that. There you go. Alrighty. There is wheezing. Let me save it. Wisconsin Cheesy, hello. Thank you so much for the $25 donation. My goodness. I truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank yous. So incredibly kind of you as well. Here. Thank you, thank you. Stay cheesy. You got it. I can do that. I can do that. Alrighty, y'all. Let me upload all of them to the Discord right now so I don't forget. Rake, what the F? You didn't need to go and expose me to all the other mods, okay? What the flip? Okay, there's the 4 from yesterday. Here's the 5 from today. They're uploaded under art in the Discord, in case anyone is really looking for their drawing out here. There we go. I was just updating it to you. Okay. Alrighty, y'all. I don't know how else to explain it other than thank you from the deeply bottom of my heart. I can't believe that we hit $1,500. Thank you. Truly. Thank you. I have no other words other than just thank you. I truly appreciate it. Thank you for spending your evening with me. Thank you for taking the time and listening to me talk about this wonderful cause. Thank you for donating. Thank you for hanging out and just listening. I truly appreciate it. Thanks for letting me do this and be silly and dance and hurt my body for an entire week. I appreciate it more than you know. So, let me see who's currently live and who we can go hang out with right now. And then we'll go from there. It looks like I'm gonna bring y'all over to. We'll do a max out bench press stream. Do you think I lift? Lift the spoon into the ice cream bowl. That's what I do. Alrighty, it looks like Mel is live. If Mel is staying live, we're gonna grade her. I think Mel is technically doing a stream with Grace right now, so. Alrighty. You will if we hit 10K. If we happen to hit 10K, maybe. I would consider it. Alrighty, y'all. Here is our lovely rain messages. The first one there is for subscribers. The second one there is for followers. Regardless, we'd love to go and spread love on more people. Mel is a good friend of mine. Highly recommend you go and hang out with her. Thank you again for all of your very kind and very, very generous donations. I truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate it so, so much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening, a wonderful rest of your day, wherever you're in the world. I will catch you all tomorrow, same time, except 5 p.m. Central Standard Time instead of 6. And I will see you all very, very soon. Good